Alright everybody, this is Eternal Blade here and welcome back to the cruise cabin texturing tutorial. So, in this part, we're going to this is where we left off, we're going to work on just the little balcony bits a bit. I'm feeling doing something a little bit different over here. So, let's start off with a new material here, Veer material. We're just going to call this white paint. And actually, before we do this, let's label this other material over here, couch. Okay, and we can assign this to not this entire thing, but we're just gonna grab this portion here. Yes, and we're gonna detach it. Okay, there we go. And we're just gonna assign it to that. So first thing with paint is obviously make it white, not all the way white, but sort of a white, maybe with a into blue in it. Could be the sun doing that, but either way we'll find out soon enough. And we're gonna go to the bump map, standard. We're gonna give it a noise. Okay. I want to view this noise map in the viewport, okay? So you obviously see it's huge. So let's do a UVW, do a box, okay? So we need to make this way smaller. Let's try like 0.5. That's not bad. This is also sort of stretched, it seems. There we go. Just because paint's kind of like speckled almost when you put it on. Look at that. There we go. Okay, just changing the parameter so it looks a little bit better. Okay. And we'll let that be sort of 40. Alright, I'm also going to put that map, well, let's go back to our paint here, go to reflect, and this does have some reflections to it. Okay, and maybe we'll do 0.7. 0.7 should be good for what we want. And that should be good for the paint. And I think this can be used for the table as well. You're not going to see any other bits and pieces there. Now we had some fabric that we had done previously. These pillows. Let's see, what's the bitmap? So that's what we sort of need. So let's grab these three here and drag them up. This was sort of our pillow fabric. We're just going to delete that and make this sort of an off-white color. Maybe blue. Okay, so now you have the fabric bump. We're going to assign that to portions of this chair. So let's ungroup. And that are going to be fabric. Okay, there we go. And just do a UVW box and make sure that if we go to show the bitmap here, that looks good, and it does. So that's going to be excellent. Just do a box here too. Perfect. All right, and then all the other stuff over here, actually this bit here is going to be the same paint that we have. Just assign it there. And all these chair legs are going to be coated in that same paint as well, so we're just going to deselect that. Deselect that. Make sure we got all the chair legs, we do, and assign a selection. Alright, perfect. So that should deal with that. And this top bit here is going to sort of be like a lacquered wood. Let's do a new material. We're going to call this dark wood. We can also use this for the legs of the chairs and such. Let's go to our friend Google here. Let's look up just dark wood texture images, and this one looks perfect right here. Ooh, there's lots of good choices. Do rustic, and that looks pretty good. Ooh, this one looks even better. No, not quite. Alright, we'll go with this one here. Save image as. Let's do wood, dark wood texture. Alright, and then show in folder. And we're just going to open that with Photoshop real quick. So, where's the open with button? There it is. Open with Photoshop. And we're just going to take some of this off. We don't need as much detail as they've got. Alright, file, we'll just save that. So as dark wood texture. So now going back into Max, we'll just do diffuse, standard, bitmap. We're going to take that dark wood texture right here. Okay. That's what we'll show in the viewport. And we're going to make this pretty high reflection. There we go. So it's going to reflect pretty good because it's almost like a a lacquered wood, and maybe 0.95, 0.8, 0.85 seems good. Okay, and then we'll, if we haven't already, assign it to that. Go to our camera, or actually we'll just stay in perspective for a while, and we're gonna take, let's see if we can get them, that leg, that leg, that leg, and that leg. Assign them this material as well. And then the chair legs will also be assigned this material. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Now do UVW on all these. Box. And maybe grab the gizmo here. Rotate it sort of 90 degrees. I believe that's what we want. Let's see, is that what we want? I like that one better. Okay. And then over here, what have we got? Let's do UVW, do a cylinder, and let's bring the length. Is that not the length of the cylinder? Cap it. What's the height? Okay, so that should be good, just to give it a little bit of there we go, a bit of cool look there. Let's go to our camera here, and let's take a quick render of this area. Actually, before we do that, let's also grab these pieces here. These are all painted that same color. Alright, get everything? I think we did. So let's assign that the paint color as well. Dark wood. That's odd. I think we had some mistake here, but this is the paint. White paint. And this is dark wood. Perfect. Alright, there we go. So back to camera, go over here, and let's give it a re-render and see what we get. So we did quite a few textures all at once, so there might need some refining once we actually get in here, but we can always check that out and see what is happening. Alright, so here we go. That actually looks pretty much perfect. The only thing I can think of is it's a little, I mean, the image is a bit more blue. And that is because of the sunlight. So we're going to grab our sun here. Filter color, we're going to make it a bit blue. Kind of like that. Okay? This is just a simple V-Ray sun. Everything's basically stayed the same except for the filter color. Okay, we're gonna go back into our camera and do one more re-render and see what that does. Alright, so there we go. We're getting a little more color in there, but not as much as I'm hoping for. So maybe we need some additional parameters here. So let's go to Google real quick. And I actually did this while it was rendering. And I Googled ocean HDRI images, and there's this freebie 8 awesome ocean HDRIs. And you can just download it right here, cgitestplus.com. And we're going to take and use their #1 HDRI from the image. And that is this one right here. So what we're going to do is go to our rendering environment. We already have a V-Ray sky in here, but we're going to sort of swap it out. So let's just drag this. Actually, we have to drag our HDR image. Can we do it into here? Nope. So let's let me figure this out here. Textures, let's drag HDR over here. Okay, where'd it go? There it is. Now we can drag it in. Okay. And just grab it, change this to environment, make it spherical. Okay. And then just drag and drop it in here as an instance. Perfect. Alright, so now I think if we re-render this, we should see some sort of ocean-like things appearing in the background. So let's find out. Alright, so whatever we're getting is really, really dark. So let's just go into our bitmap here, output, and maybe just bump this up to like 5 and see if that helps us at all. Because I feel like the image is sort of strategically placed. Actually, just cancel this. We just only want the little top bit right here. It could be just because the lighting, the environment is like that. Let's cancel this. It's still going to be too dark. Let's go to rendering environment. And, well, I guess we still need to just increase the output on this till we get what we want. So let's try 15. And re-render and see what we get. I just don't want to blow the image out of proportion. That would be problematic for us. But you can see we are beginning to see something, but that it shouldn't be this way. By 40. This is going to basically give us an all-white image, though, at least in our bitmap here. I mean, it's not what we want is the problem. I sort of want a #2 version of this, so we're gonna cheat a little bit, I think. Well, we'll save it. We may do some post-production. What I was thinking of doing was getting a sphere here and just drawing a big sphere around, oops, not that, around our image like this. Okay. And can we apply that? No, we can't. So V-Ray material, oops, that's weird. V-Ray material diffuses that color. Can show it. So you see we've got our image there. Convert this to an editable poly and select all the polygons and flip them so they're all inside. So now if we go to our camera, you can see that we have basically the ocean over there, and we can even edit it to our liking. So for example, we can raise and lower the level of the ocean to where it should be. Kind of, let's see, kind of right here. Okay, let's go to camera again, Alt-W. Let's re-render that and just see what it's doing for us. If I can find my little render window, which has now conveniently disappeared. There it is. Let's try a re-render and see what we get. Alright, so clearly that failed spectacularly, because now we just have night outside. Problem is I don't know why it failed spectacularly. Try self-illumination. Maybe illuminate it a little bit. See what that does. Oh, well, we're getting something, but I think we're going to be going back in a circle to where we were. So we'll cancel this for now, and we'll revisit that in a bit. Alright. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. So we'll revisit that one. Rendering, environment. Let's just give it the, what is it, V-Ray Sky. There we go. Okay. So back to where we were. We had basically gotten this little white part done. So let me re-render that real quick just so we can get our feet back. Alright, there we go. So we were at this nice happy light stage. I'm actually needed to assign a few more materials here before we move on. I don't think I assigned the wood material to this little bottom bit, and that needs the same wood material, I believe. Okay, do a UVW and box. Well, planar actually wasn't so bad. Just expand the width a little bit. And actually, I sort of want to move the gizmo. Just rotate it. Well, actually, I guess that's probably the best method for it. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good. And for the TV, if you followed my TV tutorial, I made textures there for it already. If not, well, let's just make some quick ones for it. So viewer material. Actually, we don't need to do this. We have this picture border should be pretty good for the screen. Okay, as well as, let's see, copy it. And actually I'm trying to, okay, so let's shift drag this material out, and we're going to assign this to the outer edge, and we're just going to give it a bit higher reflections with a lot less glossiness, 0.95, just to give it a pretty shiny 0.9, pretty shiny border. Okay, and then I actually have my other tutorial up here on the side. We're going to bring this down, and we're going to give this sort of a lighter gray color, and this will be for the speakers. Alright, and I think we even had a little logo here, and this one will be this same color. We'll make it basically all the way white, and in the self-illumination tab we'll give it a little bit of self-illumination. That should about do it. Oh, actually, we have another piece here. Let me see what I have here. There are two pieces. I don't know why there are two pieces. Ah, that's why. And this one should be black as well. There we go. So now we kind of have that look. And you can put something on the TV if you want, a picture or an image. I can't remember if I said, but I changed these to the lampshade material for now until I figure out what to do with them. That'll be coming shortly here. Alright, well, I guess we can work on the wood floor out in here. So let me close my own tutorial that I was watching, and let's just go back into our dark wood texture here and just find something kind of dark and woody. And this one actually looks about perfect. Sort of a rustic wood thing. We'll see if it lets us open it. And it didn't let us open it, so we're going to get something else. What about this one? It's not bad. It could work. Ideally I'd like a little more separation. This looks like kind of the ticket. Alright, let's save image as and go to super dark wood. Or actually we'll just do balcony wood. And we will open that up in Photoshop ideally. Show in folder. Alright, open with Photoshop. Image adjustments. Let's just decrease the brightness on there quite a bit. Okay. And we'll save it. Alright, now let's go back into our scene here. And let's create a new material sort of based off the dark wood that we had up here. Okay, and we'll call this wood floor. Okay, bitmap. We can use this balcony wood for it. Okay, and maybe make it a bit, maybe 0.8. Okay, and we'll just assign it right to there. That's what we want to show. So UVW. Just use a box. Let's change the gizmo here and rotate her around. Use angle snap to get exact 90 degrees. I just look down here for my angle as well. And we can increase the tile there a bit. Okay, maybe a bit more, something like that should work. Interestingly enough, this is sort of connected here, so we're gonna editable poly. Let's check what kind of polygon we have. Alright, so that's a single big giant polygon. So we're gonna have to into our edge here. We're gonna connect it and just sort of drag it back, because that should be part of the carpet. Okay, and then let's control click the polygon, deselect all that, and we're going to detach this. Okay, and this needs to be, is this even level with the carpet? Oh, so that's not level, so this needs to be sort of the same white we used for this. I don't know if we did that yet. That's just basically going to be the painted white. So let's just assign the white paint to that and to that. Okay, now this piece right here obviously needs some help. UVW map it with a box and just stretch it out there. Looks pretty good there. Height. Alright, that should be good with the height. Okay. So that should resolve the problem. And then also here, that and that need to be sort of black plastic. These are just sealant, so we can use this sort of picture border material again. Okay. Excellent. Alright, let's go to our camera view here. V-Ray frame buffer, and we'll give it a nice render. Alright, so here we go. So that looks pretty good for the floor. May need to increase the, where'd it go? Glossiness here, maybe 0.7, just to roughen it up a bit more. But other than that, it seems pretty good to me. I also noticed that I want to change the bedding finally. Let's get around to doing that. So the bed material, in the diffuse color, I want to I wonder if I can do this. Let me copy this and do some tests and see what we get. Okay, so in the diffuse color I want to use a fall off map. Let's just delete that. Delete. Delete. Why don't you delete? Okay, fine. Okay, is the delete key not working? I'm confused. That'll do it. So, diffuse, let's use a fall off map. Okay. And then our map 1 is going to be this bitmap here, as well as this other one. Except here we're going to mix it with kind of 80%. So if we do 50%, you can see it gets sort of whiter in the middle. Is that what we want? I don't know. Let's try it with 20%, so super white in the middle. Do a render of the bed just on the edge here and see what we get. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I actually didn't know it was recording. I thought I had paused it, but you get to stare at me doing nothing. So you can see it's a bit lighter overall, which is sort of what we want. So we may keep that for now. I'm going to go here into our bump. And we have a pretty strong bump, but I think we need some additional help. Just debating the right way to go about this. Alright, let me save this. We're going into our uncharted territory here. V-Ray displacement mod. And then I want to maps standard. Let's do a, what does a dent map look like? That's pretty cool. Let's link that. Okay. Bring the size down maybe like 50. And we'll leave the iterations at 2. Strength maybe 3. And I think we want this one here. I don't think this is what I want. This is too sort of standard. Maybe the cellular will do it. We can check the cellular out. Alright, let's get rid of all division colors so we just sort of have bumps almost. And go here to our viewer displacement mod and we will swap that. Okay, let's bring the size down to like 2. I wish I could change the density of this easily, but I really can't do that. Well, oh, I can. Good deal. Okay, so we're gonna render this and see what we've done. We may have done nothing, or we may have done some damage. Alright, so this is taking a really long time to render, and you can see it's sort of creating these odd little shapes. That's definitely not what we want. So we're just going to cancel the rendering here and just delete the displacement mod. Not the entire bed sheet, just the mod. Okay? It just wasn't what we're looking for. I may come back to it. We'll see. Alright. So next what I want to do is, we'll just delete these for now. Let's go to the desktop color here, and we're going to make this a bit less orange. It seems too orange. It's supposed to sort of match these colors like in here, but ours don't match, so clearly it's a bit too orange. So let's go here, back off on the orange and increase in the yellow a little bit. There we go. And let's just grab a little selection here and see what we get. Alright, so you can see we're doing good. We're sort of more matching it now, which is what we want. Now we can maybe do a little bit of plantage. So let's just quickly do, I'm going to Google, let me so you guys can see, maybe. So we're going to do leaf texture. Images, we're just going to sort of grab a leaf. This leaf looks good. Alright, save image as. Cruise cabin leaf texture. It's a PNG, so let's vary material. Actually, probably want a SSS2 material. No, that's not what we want. We want a two-sided material is what we actually want. And then go here to review material, diffuse map, standard bitmap. Let's grab the leaf. Okay, and we'll just assign this to there for now. And the leaf is not showing up. Why is this? Did we not pick the leaf? Oh, there we go. So let's do UVW. And give it a box. Length seems about right. Width, there we go, just to cover the entire thing. Alright, come in here, give the leaf a bit of reflection. Oops. Nothing too bad. And maybe 0.8 here. 0.7. 0.7 looks good. And you can use this as the bump map as well. It won't do very much, but it'll be a little subtle thing. Okay, and we'll just call this leaf. Now what we can also do is, watch out here, duplicate this material. Alright, make this the front and make it the back. Okay. And now, translucency, you can change it to like 0.8. If you apply it, we should sort of be somewhat translucent, I'm hoping. So let's just grab all these leaves, assign to selection, and you can actually grab this stem as well, and just assign it one of these leaf textures. Alright, and if you UVW map it appropriately, you should be able to use it. Let's do a cylinder. So I want it, ooh. That is a weird looking little cylinder there. Alright, let's see if we can find ourselves a leaf anywhere in this color. Alright, there's a leaf. So, let's gizmo E, maybe we'll rotate this just so we get some nice green color. Okay, so go back into our camera view here. And let's just select our plant and give it a render. Alright, so a couple things. We didn't assign the UVW maps, and this image is not exactly perfect. So we're going to open up our leaf image here. And well, what do we want to do here? Think about this. So we're viewing that currently. Let me just put that back on. So I don't know why. We should be good. Not sure why it's giving us black edges there. Well, I guess the two-sided material is a waste of time. I mean, honestly, no one's going to really see it. If it was a close-up, maybe. So we're just going to kill it and do this. Alright, and we're going to drag and drop the UVW maps everywhere. Alright, there we go. So now we've got sort of this plant thing going on. Let's do a re-render and see what this does for us. Oops, cancel. Go to your camera and re-render it. We have these black edges. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just the nature of the. Well, here. Let's go to perspective. Let's just zoom in here, and we can show the last frame buffer over here. Well, oops, it disappeared. Oh man. 11 when it just doesn't come up. There it is. So we'll render, and we'll just sort of grab some of this. Cancel. Just do a little small render here. I just want to see if it's actually the texture that's causing the problem, and it is the texture. Okay. So let's cancel this. So you can see the texture is causing this black shape to appear. So what we can do is just add a new layer here. And there are other ways of doing this, but this is the way I'm doing it. Paint bucket tool. Let's just grab some of that. Bam, fill it in. We'll save it as leaf texture JPG. Okay. And we'll go back into our scene, and for our bitmap, we'll change this to the one we just made. And that way, with luck, we should be able to, oops, kill max, no, hopefully eliminate some of these edges, which is not happening. Okay. You can see them on here too. It's just the edge of the leaf is the problem. Make those a bit less. Make that maybe a bit stronger and see what that does. I mean, they could be shadows. Let's cancel that. Go to maps, and we'll just give the bump map 0, just to rule out that is what's causing the issue, or if that's what's causing the issue. It's not. All right. Well, let's drag it under the UV, that map there. Okay, well, now we're seeing sort of what the problem is. So the edges were different. So what we need to do is just, let's just fit that. Well, bring the length up and bring the width up. Wrap it around. There we go. That should resolve our problem, I'm hoping. So, is this changing on everything? No, it's not. Let's just go ahead and delete the UVW map on all the other ones we had. Okay. And then drag it in. We'll see if this is what we needed to make it nice and happy. Okay, go to your camera view and go to your window. Actually, just, well, guess we'll go back to our big view here, render it out. Okay, cancel. Just grab the little area of the plants and render. Okay, and here we go. Well, I'm guessing it's just the pixel sampling, because in honesty, it'd be pretty small. I don't know why else it would have such dark edges. I mean, there's no real reason behind it, looking at the diffuse color, unless it's just this black line, which we could solve by a different texture. So I guess we're gonna try that. Maybe we just need a different leaf. Maybe that's not the best leaf to get. So we're gonna try this leaf. No, not that leaf. It has stuff on it. Let's try this one. All right. So we're gonna try this leaf. Copy. Go into active projects, cruise cabin, textures, and paste. All right. So now we've got some other leaf picture there. Let's just swap out our textures here and see what we get. Okay. So, going into our perspective mode, we sort of have these interesting shapes. Trying to figure out what's the... I guess actually not bad. Although something is wrong with it, obviously. Alright, well let's just try with that for now and see if that gets rid of any of the issues we were having previously. Alright, so here's our little image. Oops. And let's re-render. Because if this doesn't get rid of it, then it's definitely just reflections and such, and that's all there is to it. Alright, there we go. So it was the picture, but that looks pretty much perfect to me. So we can actually go here to the output. Maybe, well, kind of want to darken it a bit, but not worth it. I mean, the green color is kind of nice there, honestly. Okay, so we can go there, and that should be perfect for our needs. So I'm going to end this part here, and I will see you guys next time.